The country of Ukraine has announced it will open an investigation, not into Hunter Biden, but into associates of President Donald Trump. To which I say, oops. Now, BuzzFeed is reporting that Ukrainian authorities have opened a criminal investigation into whether the former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, Marie Yovanovitch, was under surveillance by associates of Rudy Giuliani. Now, that would include Lev Parnas, also a GOP congressman. GOP congressional candidate, to be correct. All right, so let me get to what they said. Officials from Ukraine's Interior Ministry had announced the investigation in a televised briefing, citing documents released by House Democrats on Tuesday that included WhatsApp messages between Parnas and GOP congressional candidate Robert Hyde that discussed monitoring Yovanovitch's physical movements as well as her electronic devices. So apparently they were tracking her computer, her cell phone, and her in real time. That's some scary stuff. All right, now, in a statement, the Interior Ministry official had said, quote, Ukraine's position is not to interfere in the domestic affairs of the United States, much to the chagrin of Donald Trump. And that's not them saying, that's me. They said, however, the published records contain the fact of a possible violation of the legislation of Ukraine and the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations, which protects the rights of a diplomat on the territory of another country. Ukraine cannot ignore such illegal activities on its territory. Oh, could you imagine if this is Zelensky getting Donald Trump back for trying to extort him? Oh, that would be amazing. All right, anyway. So now let me go to the WhatsApp messages. I talked about this a bit yesterday, but these are very interesting. Now, they appear to have been sent last March and were just turned over to the House this week. I really wish they had actually done this, turned this over during the impeachment inquiry, where they were actually doing hearings and could call witnesses. Now it's over in the Senate, the Republican-controlled Senate. We don't know if we're going to be able to see any witnesses. That's up to the Republicans. That's up to Mitch McConnell. Yikes. All right. So now, in the text between the men, Hyde called Yovanovitch a very bad word, so apparently didn't like her, and suggested that he's in touch with people in Ukraine who were actively watching the ambassador. And remember, the entire Trump administration wanted to get rid of Marie Yovanovitch. This includes John Bolton, William Barr, Rudy Giuliani, who's not part of the administration, but is Trump's personal lawyer, and Donald Trump himself, who did eventually fire Yovanovitch, all because she wouldn't play ball with trying to get this investigation to the Bidens. See, Marie Yovanovitch was actually not corrupt. She was fighting corruption in Ukraine. No, we can't have that. No, we actually want to do corruption. How dare you get in our way? So we're going to get rid of you. Apparently, they thought of other ways to get rid of her other than Donald Trump just firing her, or in the event of Donald Trump changing his mind and not firing her, which is super, super scary. So now, to show you these messages and how veiled this threat really is, he said, quote, this is Hyde. They are willing to help if we/you would like a price. Guess you can do anything in the Ukraine with money. That's what I was told. What does he mean by that? You can do anything with money in Ukraine. Look, this sounds like a hit. This sounds like a mob hit, which to me wouldn't necessarily surprise me in this case. Now, Yovanovitch told BuzzFeed News through her attorney late on Tuesday that the notion that American citizens and others were monitoring her movements for unknown purposes is disturbing. We trust that the appropriate authorities will conduct an investigation to determine what happened, and now, of course, Ukraine is doing that. Now, the U.S. Embassy in Kiev also directed questions to the matter to the State Department, which did not respond to requests for comment and has not publicly commented since the text became public. Now, why is that? Well, if I have to guess, it's because of William Barr. William Barr is involved in this. That's according to an interview with Lev Parnas, who had said, basically, William Barr was part of the team that, of course, was trying to extort Ukraine. And so why would he say anything about these texts? He wanted Marie Yovanovitch removed as well. They all did, so that they could do their corruption. Look, Yovanovitch, again, was in the way. Donald Trump eventually fired her. And thank goodness, because, and I say that because the alternative might have been worse. So that's why I say that. Now, Ukraine's Interior Ministry also said that its goal is to investigate whether there were any violations of Ukrainian and international laws, or if it was just bravado and fake conversation between two U.S. citizens. Now, the ministry also said it's requested information from the FBI about persons who may be involved in this possible criminal offense, and added that Interior Minister Arsen Avakov wants the U.S. side to take part in the investigation. Asked about his own texts with Parnas last March that were released, which suggested he provided Parnas with security detail while he was in Kiev, Avakov declined to answer. So this is another guy that's playing out here. Now, Daria Kalaniuk, who is the executive director at the Anti-Corruption Action Center. Now, that is a group that is fighting Ukrainian corruption, right? So now she gets a load of what Avakov was doing, right? As Lev Parnas was in Ukraine, he was given a security detail. And she asked, why the hell is Minister of Interior providing security for Lev Parnas? Parnas is a private foreign citizen. Moreover, he happened to be interpreter of oligarch Firtash and received $1 million from oligarch lawyers. Firtash, of course, is an oligarch that is currently stuck in Vienna on foreign bribery charges. Now, the United States wants to extradite him, and part of this deal with William Barr and the Department of Justice and Parnas is that they were going to try to get him off so that he would not face U.S. extradition, so that he could go back to Ukraine and continue making billions of dollars. I mean, that's how far this goes. No wonder the Justice Department is not interested in this, but the Ukrainians certainly seem to be. Hey, good news! We found Ukrainian corruption, and it involves a lot of Americans as well. Now, she adds, Ms. Kalaniuk says, providing state security for such a person is illegal. This is abuse of power by Arsen. That's Arsen Avakov. Ukrainian corruption involving both Ukrainians and Americans. Ironically, on the other side. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know how I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent progressive media.